Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to the extraordinary general meeting of your company, Morpen Laboratories Limited. I hope that you're all in good health and high spirits. Of course, it's a busy time of the year. Of course, there are quarterly results and everybody's working for exams, maybe kids' exams or business exams. I would say since the requisite forum is present, so can we start the meeting?
Yeah.
So I hereby call the meeting to order and we can start the proceedings of the meeting. Dear friends, the company is doing exceedingly well, and in 9 months' time we have scored a profit of 97.71 crores in 9 months, which is like 3 quarters, and it is more than the profit of the last year, which was 96 crores. So for the full financial year, the revenue of the company at 1359 crore, it went up by almost 6.5 crores in 9 months, as against 1277 crores in the corresponding period last year. All the business verticals have recorded good growth in the 9 months. Of course, there have been quarterly fluctuation, but 9 months as a whole, the whole businesses have grown very well. The notice of the extraordinary general meeting, which is being held today, has been circulated to all the members on January 17, 2025. Additionally, the notice is also available on the company's website and stock exchanges, NSDL, everywhere it's available. So members, with your permission, I propose the notice of the meeting of the EGM, including the resolution and explanatory statement as read, with your due permission. So coming specifically to the business of the meeting. So friends, back in the year 2000, when the company visualized the market trends and took a bold step toward building a direct relationship with the consumers. At that time, most of the companies were focusing on the doctors, but as company, as Morpen, we decided to focus on the consumer health and created something which we know, everybody knows as Dr. Morpen. So Dr. Morpen was a brand which was built for consumers and reaching directly to the consumers. So alongside acquiring the legacy of brands like Bernol and Lemolate in the consumer health space, we also led the way by developing medical devices business for home use for all the Indian consumers. Dr. Morpen brand has significantly grown since. We have a revenue of almost 650 crore for medical devices and consumer health products now. Our distribution network now spans over 4 lakh outlets and is supported by more than 4,000 distributors across various segments. So coming specifically to the medical device business, as friends, you know, our medical devices business is fully integrated with all manufacturing capabilities. We are the only company at this scale in the country that handles end-to-end production, from bare chips to the finished products. Our glucometers and blood pressure monitors are fully manufactured in-house, carrying the Government of India mission of Make in India. Our manufacturing facilities adhere to the global quality standards and are certified by ISO 13485 for the medical devices, and it was one inspection is happening only last week. As many of you know, the Government of India is actively promoting domestic manufacturing of medical devices to position the country as a global hub in this sector. In line with this vision, our company is expanding its manufacturing capabilities and of course expanding its global footprint so that we have a better reach. We are already present in Thailand, Oman, Qatar, and looking for more avenues in US and Europe. So friends, today I'm delighted to share that your company remains committed to its mission of empowering consumers with innovative health products and medtech solutions, both in India and globally. Our aim is to excel in every area, be it research, production, sales, customer satisfaction. So as we strive for 360-degree excellence. Basically, excellence remains the theme, so we have to excel in every field. To build upon our success, we have made significant strides in our medical devices business, achieving a remarkable share. To further accelerate the growth and enhance the operational focus, forge new tie-ups and collaborations, your board of directors has decided to recognize the business to ensure dedicated attention and unlock the full potential of the medical device business. In commercial language, they say value unlocking, but the business needs more focus. We have decided to transfer the business into a separate subsidiary. And as we move to the separate subsidiary, this move will help in primarily the 3 things. Number 1, it will create a focused team so that they can handle the growing scale and complexity of operation. So this business is different from the pharma business what we typically do. So this will propel the devices business to build new technical alliances. Because it's a separate company, it can have its own tie-ups, it can have its own collaboration, it can have its own skill sets. And of course, in case it's a separate company, it enables the new company to access fresh capital and pursue its ambitious growth plan. The growth plans are much bigger than what we are thinking today. The newly formed subsidiary, Morpen MedTech Limited, will take over the medical devices business. This transfer will occur through a slump sale. Slump sale is a technical word, so it is under the Income Tax Rule 11 UA of Income Tax Rules 1962, read with Section 2 within bracket 42C of Income Tax Act. Basically, under this arrangement, so 3-4 things are the major things which are going to happen, which you should understand. All the assets and liabilities related to the medical device business will be transferred to the subsidiary. All assets will be transferred to the subsidiary as a going concern with effect from 1st February. It's only 10 days ago. Effective 1st February, all these assets, revenues, profit, loss will belong to the new company, Morpen MedTech Limited. After all the necessary regulatory approval, transfer will take place in the new company effective 1st February, whenever transfer happens. So it usually takes 6 months time, so we are keeping 1 month extra. So the transfer will be executed on slump sale basis and at the value arrived at under Rule 11 UA of the Income Tax Act, read with Section 242C of the Income Tax Act, as detailed in the EGM notice. Full details are available in the notice. The entire sale consideration for transfer of the business shall be paid in cash. So there are no equity allotment. The whole money will be paid in cash by Morpen MedTech to Morpen. So Morpen MedTech will pay the full price. The business transfer is expected to be completed by 30th September, subject to the regulatory and other approvals and adherence to the provisions of the business transfer agreement. So after today's approval, the business transfer agreement would be signed. Just for information, friends, there was a similar resolution passed in September 2021, like 3.5 years ago, which was not acted upon and has lapsed. So we are now making a new resolution. So that's all about the major business of the today's meeting. At the end, I must say that we remain committed to our growth journey and are actively mobilizing resources to sustain and accelerate our progress. And thank you, friends, as always, for your unwavering support and trust in us. Together, we will continue to build a strong, innovative future. So good afternoon again, friends. So first of all, we'll go with the first speaker, Mr. Om Prakash Kejriwal. So coming specifically to the question, I think question एक common sense से आ रहा है जो कि सबको मालूम है, and we are also evaluating these things. I am also a shareholder of the company. कि अगर हमको इस बिजनेस सब्सिडरी में ट्रांसफ़र कर रहे हैं, सो देर आर 2 मेथड्स. ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव इवेल्युएटेड बोथ द मेथड्स. कि एक है कि उस कंपनी को हम डीमर्ज करते हैं. डीमर्ज का मतलब होता है कि 1/2 कर दिया, एक कंपनी से 2 कंपनीज बन गई, जो आपने एग्जांपल भी दिए, हमें 3-4 एग्जांपल दिए हैं. सो दैट मीन्स दैट ओके, एवरीबडी गेट शेयर ऑफ द सेम कंपनी. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ होल्डिंग शेयर ऑफ मोरपेन एंड यू होल्ड शेयर ऑफ मोरपेन मेडटेक ऑल्सो. But in this case, what we are doing is we are not dividing, we are adding. We are adding one more subsidiary to the same parent. तो आपका जो मोरपेन का शेयर है उसी की वैल्यू बढ़ेगी. So we don't need to reinvest further. So whatever medtech is going, medtech is not going out and it is not going to any third party. Whatever growth comes in the medtech, it is going to be added in the parent company only. So the value of the parent company is going to increase, because the medtech will have a separate growth opportunities. As on today, as a parent company, we have pharma business, we have consumer business, we have medical devices business, we have RX business, and I would say multiple options of growth. But the investor fraternity, they look every business as a different segment. There are separate set of investors who invest in medical devices. There are separate set of investors who work in over-the-counter consumer goods or FMCG goods. And there are separate sectors, for example, say biotech. So we are trying to only say that now the size of the company has grown. So according to the size of the company, we need to realign the structure. Since last 40 years, we have not done any changes. So now as a part of the restructuring, we are seeing one by one, every business has to stand on its own. So if it is Dr. Morpen, it has to stand on its own. If it is medical devices, it has to stand on its own. So that is how the things have been planned. So there is no erosion of value. Everything is being done only for the increasing the value of the shareholders. And once we have investments coming up in the medical devices, the value of the company goes up. Today medical devices almost 500 crore business. So now if we separately value the company, the value of the medical devices company itself is 5,000 crores. But the value of Morpen per se is 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 crore. So if you talk of value unlocking, if you have a 5,000 crore company sitting below a listed company, so it is going to add to you only and add to us also. I am also a shareholder, I would repeat. So basically the whole planning is that okay, the shareholders' wealth should increase, and of course there are multiple ways. If we talk of demerger, which is the 3 for example Mr. Kejriwal has given, demerger is a very long elaborate process that happens through court. Knowing the way court works, knowing the speed at which NCLT works, so and knowing the complexity of our businesses, we know that it may take little longer. So while we work with the simple version, or transfer a business into a subsidiary and subsidiary grows, so that's easy and it's fast. So today we pass the resolution and afternoon we implement the BTA. But in case we go through the demerger process, which happens in large corporate because there are banks and maybe certain statutory liabilities or maybe some government contracts, so you need the intervention of the court. Now in our business, it's a very simple business and there are no third party obligations, so it can be done with a simple thing. It's only a question of process. So there's no value erosion. Second, you said about factory visit. So I would say anytime we are, any shareholder is welcome to visit the factory anytime. You can coordinate with the company secretary or you can coordinate with the CFO. You just write an email. Whenever you are in this part of the world, please feel free. So you can visit the factory anytime. It's your factory. So coming to Ankur's question, I think on the procedural side, Ankur, we are very sorry in case you feel that okay, you have been shortchanged, or it is embarrassing for even me to hear that okay, if for some procedural things, if the things are tied up. But certainly we go through the NSDL and SEBI audits and other things, so they just look at the papers only. But we are sorry for all the embarrassment and we'll make sure that it doesn't happen in future if at all there is anything. But certainly as a company, looking at the timeline, of course this meeting was a shorter version, particularly in the EGM the meetings are longer, so we need have 10-15 minutes for the question answer session. So obviously the procedure part is okay, but if you would remember in the EGM time when physical EGMs were happening, so raising of hands was okay, and even physically, even if somebody is not registered, he could also come. But the benefit of virtual meeting, like Mr. Kejriwal said, is that anybody can come. But of course, the disadvantage is since it is virtual and it is digital, everything is recorded. Since everything is recorded, so everyone wants this paper should be complete. So, but still we will try to improve wherever the gaps are, and we are humbly accepting all the suggestions which you are giving. So coming to your question, and of course same question was there from the Mr. Kejriwal also, what are we doing for minority shareholders? I would say that as a company, all shareholders are equal. It's nothing that we have to do something specially for minority shareholders, that okay, we have to give some special scheme. So if the company is growing, we all grow. So all whatever is being happening is for the growth of the company. And I am not trying to justify that okay, when I think someone mentioned that from 2 rupees the share had gone to 12.50, now it is at 50, but year ago and this today, when of course as on today the markets are bad, so immediately after QIP I was seeing once on a quarter to quarter returns and annual return, the share has given even 100% return in 1 year. So which is not I would say bad return in the extreme market, but yes, we fully appreciate that we have to look for growth plans, and last couple of years we are working on these plans, and all these restructuring which is happening within the company is part of the growth story which we all are trying to unlock. So we have built many businesses, now the businesses have to scale. To build scale we need to raise capital. And at the time of the QIP fundraise, I'm sure we discussed with our friends and colleagues that we came to market almost after 40 years. our IPO happened in 92. So after that there was no public capital event. So the capital event happened in 2024. So it's like 24 years after that. After that there was small right issue or something. And we were very confident that okay, we are a debt free company and we were not even going for the debt. But since now we have to grow, so we have to increase our equity, we are open for debt. So we have started talking to the banks and we are engaged with Kotak Mahindra Bank now. So debt limits have been sanctioned, we have started availing some part. So these are all events which are going for the growth of the company. And particularly referring to Mr. Ankur's question on whether we are a shareholder friendly or whether it's we are working for the long term growth. So I like the word long term, and the company certainly everything what we are working is for the long term only. So there is short term is naturally not what we decide within the company. But at investor level, there are many people who would like to trade on a day-to-day basis, who would like to make money within 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. But as a company, we are all fully invested and we are here for long term and we do not foresee any gaps there. So we are fully, full clarity on that. So coming specifically to the Jaideep's question, so his question is more on the slump sale proceed. So basically, Jaideep, in case you are listening still, and of course we'll send you the response by email. Basically, the proceeds of the issue will come to the company. So proceeds of this sale. So once there's a slump sale, Morpen Medtech has to raise its own capital or its own profit, and it has to pay Morpen Lab. It can pay over a period of time, and all those funds will be used by Morpen Lab for its growth. So this is all technically looks internal, but Morpen Lab will get its own capital and it will get shared. So Morpen Lab, for example, just as an example, buys shares say just at 10 rupees, and tomorrow when the market valuation goes up, value unlocking happens, so that share maybe just hypothetically say, I just pick a number, from 10 rupees it goes to 100 rupees. So that valuation increase happen in the parent company. So that is how the value would increase. So coming specifically to your point that the voice is coming early or this, I think this looks like a technical thing. I am also seeing the screen, so my face and voice are not matching, but I think the guys, everybody is listening, all the technical team is here. I think that's on the broader side. So I hope my response meets your expectation and provide wherever satisfaction is required. Anyway, you are free to approach us anytime. We are open 24/7 these days. And by the way, our office is also open 24/7 in the building where we are. With this now, I am authorizing the company secretary to conduct the e-voting process, please. As stated earlier by him that e-voting shall remain open until 15 minutes after the conclusion of the EGM, and the results will be declared latest by 12th February. So I'm thankful to all the members, directors, auditors who have joined the meeting through video conference and for their cooperation in smooth conduct of the EGM. With your consent, now we will conclude the meeting.